All right, y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in here. We got some good stuff to cover today, y'all. A lot of good stuff to cover today on Queen Bee's News, y'all. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, y'all know the news and stuff like this coming out with your boy Biden having, prostate cancer, stage 4. So it's really, really bad. And these folks sat here because of their power and control of not wanting to lose that. They just propped them on up and say, hey, you gonna keep it going. You finna keep it going. Now, I want to remind y'all something, a bimbo, that decided that he was going to go for Trump. Like, this is right around when Trump was running for the second term, campaigning and all that, and knowing that he was going for president and stuff like that. He decided that he wanted to press 34 charges, y'all. Felony charges at that. All right. And we ain't talking about murder or Trump expunging or doing anything. We literally are saying, like, literally mislabeling paperwork. Okay. 34. Right. Meanwhile, your boy Biden out here so far gone using the autopen. You get what I'm saying? Signing pardons, laws. Hold on. Even federal type documents. And you mean to tell me that ain't no crime? We all know that is. So it make you start guessing, like, who was really running the country? Because Biden damn sure wasn't. So with that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and let me remind y'all of the bimbo who decided, the DA Alvin Braggs, okay, to be exact, decided to come with these stupid charges, right? Let's get into it. I just want to remind y'all real quick. Let's rewind it back. Let's go.
Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about.
Is that
34
so?
false statements made to cover up other crimes. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. We have had available to the office additional evidence that was not in the office's possession prior to my time here. Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. We have had available to the office additional evidence that was not in the office's possession prior to my time here. Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about.
Okay. So y'all remember that, right? They literally tried to stop Trump on any and everything he was trying to do, and that was actually trying to step foot into the White House. They did everything, tried to gag him, tried to get him quiet, throw these charges on him, and yet thinking that that was going to stop him in his tracks. Hell no. Trump said, hell no, I'm gonna continue to keep going. I mean, we watched it. Hell, Trump is the first president to put his mugshot in the White House, and now, y'all, that's a celebration, because I'm about to fast forward. We about to fast forward now, y'all. So y'all got all these charges on him. Meanwhile, his opponent is still trying to figure out where the hell he was at. Make it make sense. We can't. So with that being said, y'all, we finna keep this thing moving. Hold on. We about to fast forward it. Coming straight from the disrespected D on X, if y'all want to follow. Democrats can't call the president convicted felon anymore. No, they definitely can't. Not anymore. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Y'all listen.
After careful analysis in obedience to governing mandates and pursuant to the rule of law, this court has determined that the only lawful sentence that permits entry of a judgment of conviction without encroaching upon the highest office in the land
Come on.
is an unconditional discharge, which the New York State Legislature has determined is a lawful and permissible sentence for the crime of falsifying business records in the first degree. Therefore, At this time, I impose that sentence to cover all 34 counts. Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office. Thank you.
Let's go. Let go. So, y'all ain't gonna no longer be able to call this man a felon, convicted, and all that other type of stuff. Shut that ish up. We don't want to hear it anymore. We don't want to hear it anymore. Excuse me. Y'all, they investigated this man's home, raided it, tapped the phones, drug him through all these courtrooms, and he still won by a landslide. Yes, he did. So it goes to show you, y'all keep that BS y'all doing. Y'all can keep it. Now, we don't want to hear no more. No more. That's it. It's crazy, though, because the very thing that tried to break him, y'all, he has that picture posted in the White House. The first, name a president who sat and put their mugshot in the White House. You can't name one. He is the very first president to go through the BS that he went through and take what tried to break him and put it in the White House. Oh, that's epic, baby. That's going down in history. That definitely will be talked about. With that being said, y'all, we gonna keep this thing rolling. Let's keep it rolling. All right, let's keep it rolling. Yes. Okay. So with that being said, y'all, coming straight from a man of memes. If y'all want to follow this person on TikTok at Ricky Doggin, the truth will set you free. Democrats finally admit that the 34 felonies against Trump was bogus. You think? We already knew that. With that being said, y'all, coming straight from CNN again, let's get into it.
Agree with you that Democrats cannot only be the party of resistance. We cannot, we resisted so hard between 2017 and 2024. We impeached the guy. We prosecuted him, convicted him of 34 felony counts. And guess what? He still got elected. So I don't know how much harder we can resist now.
Are you admitting that, that the case against Trump in New York was part of the organized Democratic Party resistance?
It was a Democratic prosecutor. And at the time, I said
that's all we wanted to hear.
I went on Fox News and said
there were Democrats who said this at the time.
There were a lot.
Just to be clear, everybody who now touts the 34 felonies, take it from Liz. This was not a real case. This was a plot to upend the presidential campaign, which backfired.
I just think it was a boneheaded move by Alvin Bragg, but it's not his first or last one. So.
This is why we invite Liz, because she's a plain-spoken New York Paul who can really tell it.
Y'all know what I love.
Not only be the party of resistance.
Y'all know what I love so much is these very people that was riding on the boat and stuff like that, all that BS stuff or whatever, are the very same people that's having to eat they ish up. You cannot defeat greatness. How you see all these positive and major moves and you still want to be negative? These fake newses are now having to eat they mess up. You get what I'm saying? Hey, we finna keep this thing moving, y'all. We can keep it moving. I told y'all we had some good stuff to cover today. Did I not? Did I not tell y'all? So Trump won his appeal against the 34 felony counts. Okay. You liberals like to throw out, drop the 34 charges and got his money back. Notice not one single media site talking about this. Well, guys, that's what us content creators are here for. To put out what they don't want to see. Okay? And we all know that's a lot of the positive stuff that Trump do. Hell, sometimes Trump don't even, boast about some of the great things he's done. I get it. But baby, we here to put it out there. That's what we do. Okay? So we finna to keep this thing rolling, y'all. Let's keep it moving. All right, now I know y'all remember this clip here. Okay, so we about to rewind it. All right, this is Obama giving a little message, y'all, and now it is all starting to make sense because the eyebrows are raising. He was joking around and stuff, you know, talking about basement and feeding lines to a puppet and all this other type of stuff. I wonder who the joke was about and who he's actually talking about. And I wonder now, fast forwarding, is it any truth to this? Well, we the people know. Again, we was waiting for them to catch up. So with that being said, y'all, we getting ready to go on to Johnny Midnight. That it's _the_DR. Let's dive into it, y'all. Let's not even wait. Let's go.
If I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that because I found the work fascinating. I mean, I write about the even on my worst days, I found puzzling out, you know, if I could make an arrangement where I had a
we gonna get down to the bottom of it, y'all. I promise y'all, because this is the F around and find out era. Now we know for a fact. Now that we know, we've been knowing, but now that it's out there, baby, we got a whole lot of questions that need some answers to it. And I'm talking about we want them now. Y'all had every chance to tell us. So we gonna find out, y'all. We definitely gonna find out. Because we know and been knowing that Biden was unstably unfit. Okay? So unfit that they had to use autopen. I mean, forging signatures that don't belong to Biden. And I'm pretty sure and know that they know that it's definitely against the law. So with that being said, y'all, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Coming straight from Tacoma, Austin. Justice Rodney Biden, legal jeopardy in the case of the shadow president. They mystery dispensed around the autopen, implemented a device and pattern in practice to avoid the 25th Amendment. With that being said, y'all, let's dive into this video.
This is wild. An investigation done by the Heritage Foundation's Oversight Project discovered that almost every single signature of Joe Biden's during his presidency was signed using an autopen, meaning that all of the documents that he signed were being used by a computer-saved signature and not done by hand. They found that almost every signature was autopen, except for one of the most famous ones on the letter where he was announcing he was dropping out for running for president last election. As you can see here, autopen, autopen, and then here it is on the letter of him dropping out of the race. Clearly a different signature, and you can see also it is underlined. Now, autopen is not new. It's legally been around for the president since 2005, since President Bush's presidency, but it's typically used while presidents are on vacation, like Barack Obama in 2013. The 60 plus days that President Trump has been president, we've watched him by hand sign a whole lot of executive orders and documents. So now people are bringing up the 7 pardons that were signed on January 19th, President Joe Biden's last day in office, saying that they were all autopen. Other people are more concerned with that signature with the underline that was used when he dropped out of the race, wanting to bring in question different clemency orders and pardons that were signed using that same underline signature, quite different from the autopen. Now, could President Joe Biden have had 2 totally different signatures? Absolutely. But with his cognitive decline, there are a lot of questions that are coming up. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Here's some BS. Here's some straight BS. Meanwhile, President Trump said it wasn't this man's signature, y'all. So who in the hell is calling the shots here? Who? I'm telling you, we need answers, and we need them right now. Y'all had long enough to sit on this. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Let's go. Coming straight from Gutherman Eagle Man on X, President Trump knows what happened under Biden. Let's get into it, y'all.
Do you want to respond to President Biden being diagnosed with cancer? Are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually. I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago. Just to get to stage 9, that's a long time. I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive tests. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right.
Come on, President Trump. Come on through with the come on through. Let them know.
It's a little risk. If I didn't get them all right, these people would be after me. It would be not a good situation.
Right.
But I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test. They say it's unconstitutional, but I would say in that particular case, having a cognitive test wouldn't be so bad. But when you take tests, medical tests, as a male, that test is very standard. I don't know if it's given to everybody, but it's given just about. And it takes a long time to get to that situation. Now, I think to get to a stage 9, I think that if you take a look, it's the same doctor that said that Joe was cognitively fine. There was nothing wrong with him. Well, he said, if it's the same doctor, he said there was nothing wrong there. That's being proven to be a sad situation. And the autopen is becoming a very big deal. The autopen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the autopen. But when they say that that was not good, they also, you have to look and you have to say that the test was not so good either. In other words, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed. And I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor. If it's the same, or even if it's 2 separate doctors, why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so. It's very dangerous. Look, this is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. Look at the mess when you're talking about all these questions on Ukraine and Russia. That would have never happened. As an example of our president, would have never happened. The other thing is you have to say, why did it take so long? I mean, when this takes a long time. It can take years to get to this level of danger. So it's a very, very sad situation. And I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened, because I'll tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. Walter Reed is really good. They're some of the best doctors I've ever seen. I don't even know if they were involved, but a doctor was involved in each case. Maybe it was the same doctor, and somebody is not telling the facts. It's a big problem.
Well, y'all, I didn't say it. I ain't say it this time. Your boy Trump said it. Now we got some questions. We gonna need them answers really, really quick. Cause something ain't the math ain't mathing right now. It ain't adding up. It's not adding up, y'all. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna keep this thing moving. All right, let's get into it. Y'all. We almost done. So y'all mean to tell me that this whole time Biden was up doing his terms, y'all? The signatures were signed by machine, and the media wants us to believe that this man was governing? Like, really? Let's be real. Let's get into it, y'all. We finna keep this thing going. Coming straight from Devory Darkins on X, y'all exposed. Joe Biden relied on his autopen signature for an astonishing number of pardons and key documents. Let's get into it. I just gotta be reminding y'all. Let's get it.
I think a lot of people saying, wait, what's an autopen? So explain that. And also, is there any evidence that President Biden was heavily relying on one?
Yeah, Mark, I've said the word autopen more times today than I ever have. An autopen is a device that replicates someone's signature, something that celebrities often use to sign autographs for fans, and it provides an identical signature every single time. So think of like a stamp. It's common knowledge that presidents use the device too. Harry Truman, believed to be the first U.S. president to do so almost 100 years ago. But the White House doesn't exactly broadcast that they're doing it for obvious reasons. The issue here, according to President Trump, is how much his predecessor was allegedly relying on it. And overnight, the president upping the ante, posting that the pardons signed by President Biden are, quote, hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that they were done by autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them. He continues, those on the unselect committee, referring to the House committee that investigated January 6th, should, quote, fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without knowledge or consent. This claim originated from the Heritage Foundation's oversight project. They highlighted signatures from pardons the president signed, including those for Anthony Fauci, Mark Milley, and the January 6th committee. They allege the signatures are identical, suggesting the use of an auto pen. They contrasted those signatures with the one announcing Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 presidential race, which they say is noticeably different.
So y'all know Congress is investigating into this now. Because if Biden was assigning them, then who the hell was? We sitting here, we watching the videos of him, I guess, pretending signing or whatnot. But like, and then I just learned just by me, earlier with the reaction stating that they used it sometimes when, the president is on vacation and all this other type of stuff. What's their excuse? Well, I mean, we can clearly see now. I mean, we've already known this, so we know now. But yeah, y'all, what's y'all thoughts? Wait, hold that thought though. Let's keep it moving. I still got some stuff for y'all. So y'all know me through all of this extra stuff that is going on. Coming straight from my boy Benny Johnson, Rep. James Commerce says political staffers who operated Biden's auto pen have been identified. Oh, y'all, we might get the answers we've been looking for. Okay, when I tell y'all this and I say it from my heart, I mean this. Listen to me, y'all. I mean this from my heart. This is the F around and find out era. I am now enjoying that they are actually listening to us. Yo, these folks have to be held accountable. We need action. We need stuff done. Y'all, they are getting stuff done. Now, granted, a few other people in the cabinet, they got to step it up, step it up, step it up. We watching. We put y'all in those places for a reason. So we going to need a little bit more from y'all. But what have I seen thus far with my eyes, baby? F around and find out era. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and dive on into the video. Let's get into the news.
You are going and looking at who is controlling this auto pen, because Joe Biden, I mean, he's demonstrating that he doesn't have all the cognitive capabilities they had. That interview was from 2023.
Yeah, that's hard evidence. Early in the President Biden's term as president, it clearly shows that he was in significant mental decline. It questions who was actually making the decisions. So what we found is not just with the pardons he issued, but many of the executive orders that the courts are now using to Trump-proof, many of the executive orders that President Trump is trying to implement to make government more efficient, many of these executive orders, as well as the pardons of Biden's entire family as a result of our investigation, these were all signed with the auto pen. And clearly from that interview, which was many, many months prior to the heavy use of the auto pen, Joe Biden wasn't capable of making decisions. He wasn't coherent. We think we've identified who the staffers are. Jason, you all have done great work with that over at Heritage Oversight. We're going to bring everyone that we believe was involved in any role in the use of the auto pen. We're going to invite them to come in for a transcribed interview. If they want, then they will receive a subpoena and they will have a full-blown deposition.
Here you go.
We want to find out who was actually making the decisions in the White House during the last 9 months of the Biden administration when he was clearly in mental decline.
Okay, so they said it. They're not playing with y'all. F around and find out. Here you go. You don't want to come with. Here you go. Here you go. See you there. We want to know what the hell was going on. What the hell was going on? Now, y'all, we coming to an end. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for just rocking with your girl. I ain't gonna lie. Since I've been on this journey, y'all, I gained a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends. I gained a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of people. And I'm okay with that. Because what I'm not going to do is backtrack. And knowing the knowledge and the information that I've gained today, y'all. I don't want to be that old me. I don't want to be the libtards. I don't want to look like them. I don't want to be out here in these streets looking crazy. And then here's the thing. Me just doing my own personal research. Don't take me for it. Do your own. But me knowing what I know. And then decide that I want to be a libtard and stuff like that. Like, I will literally just be like, you know, it would not make sense. So I already know, you know, with the content I bring, and I tell y'all all the time, we gonna laugh, love, cry, agree, disagree. You know what I'm saying? I always say be respectful in the comment section. If there's something that I did wrong, y'all don't have no problem telling me, but it's a respect thing. And here's the thing. If I don't mind y'all telling me to look at this and all this other type of stuff, my problem comes in is when you tell me about my thoughts and how I feel, because this is just me giving y'all what I feel. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm wrong, I get it. I'll take the wrong. Here's the thing. When I ask you, if you telling me that I'm wrong, and I know I did my part, the research and stuff like that, and I may have left something out. Here's the thing. If I'm asking you like, yo, so you saying this, that, and the other, whatever, can you send me the link, or where did you read this at? Where did you find that at? Because that's what it's all about in the comment section, for real, is putting each other onto something. So if you know something, put it in there so we can go take a look at it and fact check it ourselves. If this is some information that you know to be true and things like that, give it to us so we can go look at it. My problem is when I ask you for it, and you send a statement like, oh, so you didn't even research any video or any of this stuff. No, you clearly said your thoughts. And I was like, oh, so where can I find this? Can I look it up? You didn't research your entire video. You bringing new information to me. I'm trying to fact check it myself and see, you know, what the hell going on here. You know what I'm talking about? Like, put your money where your mouth is. Y'all see what Trump said? Promises made, promises kept. If somebody is asking you a question on where you got it from, give it to me so I can see, I can check it out. I don't want that libtard mentality. I don't want that, yo, and then I ask you, yo, where can I check this out? And I don't get no answer. That's not doing nothing for me, nor you. So y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I want to end this on a good note with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and bring it here because I don't know if you guys remember the WW2 guy that did a video a few months ago wanting President Trump to come to his birthday and all of that, y'all. Well, let's fast forward it. He done got viral. And I'm just going to show you this is how it started, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Coming straight from Tara Bull on X, Tara Bull 808. If y'all want to check her out, let's go.
President Trump, my name is Denver Moore, and I'm going to be 104 in May, and I'm inviting you to my birthday party, the 17th, here in Canal Fulton, and I'm living in a rest home called Danbury, and I got to vote for you again, and I hope I can vote for you some more.
Oh.
He's a World War II veteran, Army Air Corps. You should come and visit him. He wants you here for his birthday.
Y'all coming straight from Allie D2559. If y'all want to follow on TikTok. That's beautiful, y'all. So, of course, my president with grace, with class, is going to eventually respond, y'all, because the people got the message out. Y'all made it go viral. And of course, Trump gonna take whatever time, busy day now, and to show some respect, grace, and class for this veteran, right? So we going ahead and fast forward it, y'all. Let's get into it. This is how I like to leave y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. My final thoughts on this, y'all. They tried to silence Trump, gag him, and erase everything about this man because he actually stood for the country and these people. But as we can see, y'all, through the storm, Trump remained to stand. And that is why he is the president of the United States today, because of that fight. And that should let us know to keep having that fight in us on whatever the hell we decide and choose to do in life. That is a huge motivation. Keep that in mind when you want to give up, y'all. Keep that in mind. Keep that fight in your head. Not today, co-worker. Fight. Oh, not today, devil. Fight. Not today, libtard. Fight. Keep that in mind. With that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and dive into the last video. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all the love and support. Let's dive on to it because my president responded back, baby. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Hi, Denver. I want to wish you a very happy 104th birthday from your all-time favorite president. That's me, Donald Trump. And I'm sorry we weren't able to get to your party. I would love to get to your party, but I'm working on Russia, Ukraine, China, and all sorts of other places. And I know you want us to do well.
Look at him.
But I want to just thank you for your incredible service to our nation and
Yes.
for your support for
Salute.
making America great again. A very, very special man you are, and happy birthday.